G'day guys, how are we? Welcome to the weekly roundup, and as always, plenty going on in the boxing world. Let's start with the Australian scene, and Justice Huni is still riding the wave of last week's big win in the United States. He won a 10-round decision over Anthony Titi. Justice moved to 8-0. Anthony Titi dropped to 20-2. The scoreline read 100 to 90 and 98-92 times 2. Now, there is talk that Justice might actually fight before the end of the year. Let's hope that's the case. Thought it was a really, really good performance from Justice Huni, and I'm sure with Eddie Hearn and the Tasman Fighters crew behind him, the only way is up for Justice Huni, and big things await for Australia's number one heavyweight. So let's see let's hope that something happens before the end of the year and he gets another big opportunity somewhere in the world, whether that be America or the UK. The Maloney boys are back. Andrew and Jason will both be in action within the next couple of months. Andrew will fight first. He's going to take on Judy Flores, the Filipino, over 10 rounds on the Wildfighter event. December 9th at the Pullman Hotel in Melbourne. Andrew 25-3, Judy Flores 13-1. The last fight to these guys, Andrew was stopped by Junto Nakatani in the 12th round back in May for the vacant WBO Super Flyweight title, whereas Flores won a 10-round decision over Gerald Paclar in the Philippines back in June of this year. And as I said, a big show promoted by Will Tomlinson at Wildfighter Promotions at the Pullman Hotel. Tickets on sale on the Wildfighter website, so jump on there. It should be a great night of boxing. Andrew's brother, Jason Maloney, the WBO Bantamweight World Champion, he'll defend his title, first defense against Saul Sanchez. That will be on January 13th in Quebec, Canada. Now, that's going to be on the undercard of Artur Beterbiev and Callum Smith. Jason, of course, coming off the 12-round decision over Vincent Astrolabio in Stockton back in May. And Sanchez with a 8-round decision in Japan over R.V. Deniega. Also on that bill, if that date and location looks familiar or sounds familiar, Rowan Murdoch will fight Christian Mabili on that card as well. So a massive card there, not just for the Beterbiev and Callum Smith fight, but also Aussie fight fans. Speaking of Aussie fight fans, big weekend for all of us down under. Joseph Goodle this weekend takes on Effie Jugar. Goodle is 10-1. Jugar is 18-1. It's a top ranked promotion. It takes place at the Blue Event Centre in Lake Tahoe. It'll be on Fox Sports 503 and KO Sports on Sunday morning, so make sure you check that out. Big fight announced this week. We have been discussing on Talking Boxing the Nikita Tszyu Dylan Biggs card. A little bit shallow, but it has been propped up a lot with the addition of Isaac Harbin. He'll take on the UK's Troy Coleman. That's over 10 rounds on that card. Isaac Harbin 14-2, Coleman 12-2. Also on that card should be a big night. Vegas Larfield will take on Jack Tresider. Vegas Larfield 9-1. Tresider 2-1-1, and also on that card, amongst a lot of Newcastle-based fighters, Amber Amelia will make her comeback after her last fight, which was a loss to Chanel Dargan. So, big one there. One fight I'm probably not over enthusiastic about that's been announced this week. Former WBA World Middleweight Champion Sam Solomon. Sadly, in my opinion anyway, he's decided to come back again. He's going to take on a young beast in Alex Walters. Sam Solomon, 49-17-1. Walters, 18-1. They're going to fight on December 9th at the Orion Centre in Campsie, New South Wales. Look, as I said, I'm not keen on this fight at all. Sam Solomon, 50 years of age. Walters is, as I said, a young, up-and-coming beast of a fighter. I think it's all bad news for Sam Solomon. I hope he reconsiders. He's coming off a loss a year ago, or just under a year ago. First round knockout loss to Joel Kamakeo Camilleri. Walters coming off a 10-round decision over Flynn Mackham back in July. As I said, let's hope that Sam reconsiders. The last thing, in my opinion, he needs to be doing at the moment is stepping back into the ring. Look, it's a free world. I understand you're a long time retired. But I hope someone gets in Sam's ear and tells him to reconsider. Michael Zarafa. Now, we seem to mention him every week, but not a lot of progress at the moment. However, this week it has been announced, well, semi-announced, depends on what social media channels you're on or what website you're looking at. But it looks like it has been made official with the quote unquote, that he will be in action on December 9 on the undercard of the Erislandy Lara Danny Garcia WBA middleweight title fight. Now, the thing is, we're only, 5 weeks away, and no opponent announced at all. So, look, I don't know what's happening now. I'll continue to bring it up on here until something is announced. But Lara and Garcia apparently is in concrete, although there's not being much said about that either. Also on that card is reportedly Keith Thurman and Amantis Staniosis for the WBA version of a welterweight title. And there was actually talk that Floyd Mayweather will be on that card as well. Nothing confirmed as yet. The one thing that was ruled out is that if he is on that card, it will not be Mikey Garcia. Has also been talks that maybe it will be Manny Pacquiao. I don't think there's any chance that will happen on such short notice. But you never know. That's an exhibition, by the way. It won't be a real fight. But so all eyes for us Australian fans on Michael Zarafa. Will he or won't he fight on December 9th on that Lara Garcia card, which is supposed to be the preemptive fight for the winner of Lara and Garcia. So as I said, I'm not going to jump to conclusions and confirm anything. These are just rumours, but allegedly he's penciled into that card. But as I said, no opponent just yet. So as always, we'll just keep a lookout and see what happens. On to the world scene, and this week it's all been about one fight, and that's the Fury and Ngannou fight. There's been lots of back and forth from all over the place, from the UFC to boxing fans, Fury fans, non-Fury fans. It's just been an absolute mess this week. One thing that's not disputed is the fact that Tyson Fury moved to 34-0-1 with a 10-round decision, disputed decision over Francis Ngannou, who dropped to 0-1, if you can believe that. The score was 96-93 for Fury, 95-94 for Fury, and 95-94 for Ngannou. And not surprisingly, the fight with Alexander Usyk will not happen on December 23. It's looking more like March at this stage, probably in Saudi Arabia. That's where all the money is. But not all bad news for Ngannou. Look, there could be the possibility of fighting Fury again next year. However, the promoters of Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua have reached out to his team about a possible fight with those. So it could be a couple of massive fights there for Francis Ngannou down the track. I personally think he should probably be a little bit careful about jumping straight into a Joshua or a Wilder fight. Hey, he did a great job against Fury, and whether you thought he won or not, well, who cares? End of the day, it was a great performance, and he surprised a lot of people, including me. But to step up against Wilder or Joshua, who wouldn't be probably taking him as easy as what Tyson Fury did, they're going to be well prepared. They're going to want to make a statement. And I think it could be bad news for a pretty limited Ngannou. As I said, taking nothing away from him with his fight against Fury. But the facts are, from what I saw, very, very basic type of skills. I'm not quite sure he's going to be able to go against some of those best heavyweights in the world. But, you know, there's big money out there. He wants the challenges, so all the best to him. I hope one of those fights actually take place. Although, to be honest, I would much prefer to see Wilder and Joshua fight each other. But in this day and age of heavyweight boxing, who knows what the hell goes on. Just quickly on Ngannou again, the WBC have said they will put him in the ratings, which means if he does fight Fury again, it will be for the world title. So plenty of things happening for Ngannou, and probably a great example of you just got to take your opportunity. And in this case, probably a little bit like the Rocky series, didn't get the win, but the doors that open after that are just plentiful for him. So hopefully he gets an opportunity at some stage, which looks like he will. Last weekend, O'Shaquie Foster with an unbelievable 12th round stoppage of Eduardo Rocky Hernandez in defense of his WBC super featherweight title. O'Shaquie Foster moved to 21-2. Hernandez dropped to 34-2. A great fight. Foster coming back in the 12th round to stop Hernandez to defend that title. And, one of the fights of the year. One opponent that Foster will now take a good look at is Joe Cordino. Now, he's going to fight this weekend against Edward Vasquez. That's in Monte Carlo for the IBF super featherweight title. So Whoever wins this most likely will fight Foster next for a part unification of the division. Also on that card, if I can pronounce it here, Seven-Athi Nonshinga against Adrian Curiel for the IBF light flyweight world title on that card in Monte Carlo. So a big weekend there in Monte Carlo. Last weekend, history was made. Amanda Serrano won a 12-round decision over Daniela Ramos. Now, what was great about this fight, or historic about this fight, 12 3-minute rounds. So Serrano defended her undisputed featherweight world title by scores of 120, 108 times 3. So congratulations to Amanda Serrano. Of course, our own Sky Nicholson has made noise about maybe wanting to fight her down the track. So plenty of big fights there for Sky. And one more thing, it seems to be we have some sort of joke of the week each week at the moment. For Aussie fight fans, or Aussie football fans, if you want to call it that, Warwick Kappa, the former AFL legend, has challenged former player agent Ricky Nixon to a boxing bout. Now, I don't expect everyone overseas, or maybe even in the States, to know about these guys, but Warwick Kappa, as I said, one of the biggest names ever in Australian rules football, up against Ricky Nixon, who's got a very, very colourful history, as I said, as a player agent, also a former player. They are in talks to have a boxing bout. So the joke of Aussie boxing continues to be the gift that doesn't stop giving, doesn't it? So, all right, well, that's about it for this week. I hope you have a great weekend watching the boxing, and until next week, we will see you then.